It's a little after 10 on the 20th of January. We are looking at intensity as it pertains to why Tree of Life Farms is so important. I just put a video on my website of an older man, probably in his 70s, farmer, who is building the case similar to what I'm trying to do in North Carolina. He's doing it in New York State, of selling direct, raw milk direct to his community. And I've done a video on why small family farms fail and why it doesn't work in the modern food structure, how we get food to the marketplace. You think about it, where is your little grocery store that's independently owned? It probably doesn't exist. It's a chain. Everything's a chain, everything's big, because they build it that way. So think about it, the farmer has to match up to the way food is distributed to the public. Shelf life. Raw milk has 2-week to 3-week shelf life. That's not sustainable on a large scale. Yet, raw milk is what your body needs, not pasteurized. You need that raw, clean, very nice operation with low cell counts. You need that for your body. Your children need it for their growth and their bones and their teeth. I grew up on raw milk. I never go to the dentist. I don't drink milk now. I plan, once I get access to my own milk, to drink my milk every day. So, but why raw milk? Why dairy versus all the other agriculture? Because you need milk to sustain your life. It's food and it's liquid. It's going to help your body fight disease and all kinds of viruses. It's going to put your body back in order, because the enzymes that are in the raw milk kill the things like a little Pac-Man that affect your ability to fight disease, cancer, and various forms of virus. When COVID started, the fear-mongering, I said our God-given immune system is strong enough to win this battle against this virus. I said it publicly, I said it boldly, and I said it over and over again. Herd immunity. Now imagine this, guys. Imagine my task is complete. I've got 30, 40, 50 cows. We're producing anywhere from 800 to 1,500 gallons of milk a week. And people in my area are drinking that same raw milk that the cows are producing, that are eating the grass in the community whereby it has been produced. Our herd immunity, like local honey, but our herd immunity has been greatly enhanced by virtue of my raw milk. Well, not mine, but the cow's raw milk that I am facilitating by giving them grass, giving them alfalfa, giving them what they need to produce the healthiest glass of milk possible. The reason the family farm died, and my dad died with it back in the 80s, early 80s, is that the farmer is a worker. He's not an entrepreneur. Even though he is an entrepreneur by virtue of risk taking, my dad was that. He didn't inherit anything. He went out on his own after he got trained by one of the best dairy farmers at that time in the country in Northeast Pennsylvania. He was a risk taker. He was entrepreneurial. We were involved in 4-H. We were involved in the county fair. He could talk if he wanted to, but he didn't go direct to the consumer. We didn't have the capacity, the financing to do that with a store and all the rest. So, and pasteurization was the only way you could drink milk. Now, raw milk as a medicine, even, as a healing liquid has gained prominence since COVID because people don't trust what the FDA says, thank God. We've got to fix the food supply chain. It's got to go from big guys down to a bunch of little small guys. Regionalized food production. Some things you're going to have to bring in, like oranges, right? You can't grow that in the Northeast. So you bring in oranges from Florida. Okay, so they're mass producing oranges. They're mass producing bananas. We like those things. But meat, you can do local. Eggs, you can do local. Basic vegetables, you can do local. You can have greenhouses that are growing year round that supply locally. Mushrooms you can do locally. Onions you can do locally. These are all things good for the body. You can do real fish, right? Trout, bass, all that. Sell that locally. You don't need shellfish, but if you can get it, great. But you got to know your sources. You got to know what you're buying. That's the bottom line. When I tell people about raw milk, I say, here's this website, realmilk.com. It has a locator of all the places that are registered on it that sell raw milk to people. Go to his farm or her farm and look at the operation. Is it clean? You're going to be able to tell right away. Is this a clean, very sanitized as far as the cow and the udder and the teat? Because that teat that you put the milking equipment to is producing the substance that you're going to put in your body, right? So that teat needs to be very clean, and it needs to be post milking. It needs to be protected with iodine or whatever. So my belief in this model, Tree of Life Farms Dairy, which is, let's say, finishes out potentially at 100 acres, 120 acres, 30, 40, 50 cows. Maybe it's more, maybe it's not. But the 1,000 gallons a week, maybe up to 2,000 gallons a week, as far as where I'm at land-wise, and what I want to build in terms of a model, I don't want to go mega on purpose, just like church. I don't want mega church. What happens with mega church is you lose the quality of discipleship. You lose the touch of the preacher, the one given the message from God to raise up a seed that loves God and is doing the things that the kingdom requires. First of all, take up your cross, die to self, and become a servant of the Most High. Same thing with food. You build you want lots of smaller operations. Now, could I build out a network of small operations spread all over North Carolina, Virginia, wherever? Sure, God blessing me. But what the goal is that each operation would produce 50 miles, let's say, 25, 50 miles around the operation. It would produce it and supply that area. Now, not everybody wants it, but what happens when everybody wants that raw milk? When they find out how good it is for them? I love that problem. Let's worry about that when we get there. Right now, we need the model. My county, my neighboring counties need me to demonstrate to them the model. The model is the key. Me talking is one thing. People seeing it, touching it, being around it, tasting it is what's essential for it to work. And the experiences, the stories. Oh, I started drinking your milk and now I feel so much better. My daughter had this problem, allergies, now she's better, right? I don't get as sick as much. I don't get the flu anymore. I don't have these allergies anymore. I'm not diabetic anymore. Those stories will grow out and make it happen, right? So that being said, let's go. So what's it worth for you if you have money to give to Tree of Life Farms to help get this project underway? What's the benefit to you? You have money for a reason, right? You're not smarter than guys that don't have the money. You might be in the right place at the right time. Most people that have a lot of money are at the right place at the right time, right? Now you have a stewardship with money. Money that can buy dirt, money that can buy cows, money that can build barns, money that create distribution network for the facilitation of the sale of raw milk. So what do you leave behind with your money? Is you leave behind a legacy of health, a legacy of quality food, a legacy of putting people back into the economy, the kind of people that bring the values to the economy, the family, the farmer, the guy who's out there working to train the next generation. If everything's robotic, if everything's data center driven, if it's artificial intelligence, that's directly against the human being made in the image of God, which is why my whole predicate for this vision is tied to creation, Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Because you have to know who you are as a created entity made in the image of God. That's burnt into your being to be a manager, a gardener, a builder, a trainer, a teacher, a doctor, a healer, all that stuff, a designer, all of that comes to you. You have things that you can do that other people can't do from your creation, made of dust in the image of God, him breathing the breath of life into the nostrils of Adam. And now we are descendants of Adam and Eve. And even Jesus himself, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, put on flesh, like unto the flesh that you and I wear every day, but yet it was heavenly seed in a woman that had to be a perfect lamb, human, to die on a cross for real bloodshed, to then rise again to defeat death, which now we live in post. We live in post-resurrection time. And he's coming back to fix everything that's wrong with this earth. All the lying, all the cataclysmic chaos they're trying to start up in all these cities to destroy leadership, planning, order, law, structure. Because chaos doesn't have a post plan, right? But this plan that I am articulating to you this morning is about the future. Just like children, bearing them is your future. Without children, there's no future. Without this farm, Tree of Life Farms, there is no future for raw milk in my county, my region. You'll have to drive somewhere 2, 4, 5 hours to get it, or have it shipped in and then deal with the commerce issues of milk regulation. See, Pennsylvania, you can buy raw milk, South Carolina, but you got to drive. What a pain in the butt. I'm trying to provide it to my place of dwelling, where I live. So that's the plan. Get on board. It's a beautiful plan. It originates in heaven. God came up with this plan for Jonathan Keener.